Bouncing back. Bouncing back is a great skill to have in life. Because you see, we will need to do so at some point in our life. We will need to do so many times in our lives. There are small disappointments and there are devastating disappointments, from not finding a parking lot to very serious stuff, like the end of a relationship, divorce after many years, or being fired, or really more serious stuff like illness or death. But you see, the same skills are needed to deal with all these different levels of disappointment. The skills of bouncing back, the skills of learning and growing from these devastating events. These skills really have an order. And we start, of course, at the beginning. The beginning is acceptance. Is allowing this circumstance to be. You see, nowadays we are so pushed to change the world that we have a very hard time accepting things the way they are. We rebel before seeing what is going on. We deny and we blame and we get angry and we lose a lot of our energy by doing that. If instead we sit down to a perspective of wisdom, of maturity, of saying, this is the way things are. I've been just fired. My husband told me he's leaving me. Okay, these are the way things are. Things are this way. You know, from simple things, it is raining. My child told me something horrible. No, this is the way things are. When we accept the way things are, just the way they are, not worse, not better, not exaggerated, not overinflated, but the way they are, we get our power back. Because we get our critical mind, we get our eyes open to what is. Get that drama out of the situation by observing just what is. Just observing it as if you were a person outside yourself. You're seeing it how it is. This is a great quality of all leaders. And if we are talking about being a leader of your own life, this is what you have to do. First, see it exactly how it is. Allow it to see how it is. This is the way it is. Step number 2. Once you see the way it is, you will see that there are many gems in that what is. In this horrible darkness, in these woods, there are wonders. And I like to call them lessons. Combination of blessing and lessons. In this devastation of life, this apparent devastation, they are great gifts. But that is not apparent when we are still fighting with the situation. Once we have accepted it, we can start having clarity within this darkness. Have you noticed that when you are in the dark and you're trying to find the exit in the dark, it is very difficult because while you are moving, you cannot see. But instead, if you slow down and take a look in the darkness, shapes are starting to appear, and then you will be able to move. The way it is in the literal darkness is exactly the way it is in the spiritual darkness. Give yourself a moment to reflect, to see, before you judge the situation, before you attempt to learn from it. And once you are in that quiet moment, you are going to be able to find great wisdom. this is a very good moment when to start using a journal and just start writing what is. This is the situation, and just by describing the way it is, you are going to start finding wonders, blessings of how things are. One of the devastating events in my life was the illness of my daughter. When she was 2 months old, she was admitted into the hospital, and she was very, very ill. It was devastating for me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to manage it. Of course, it was the first time that me as a mother, I was responsible of a person in the hospital. And by writing down what was going on, I learned so much about love, about responsibility, about growth, about tolerance, about asking for help, about many things that in a way had nothing to do with that little child. It had nothing to do with her health. Blessings come disguised. They are subtle, they are mysterious, and they are open for you if you pay attention. So once you find your blessing, it comes to step number 3. Step number 3 is key. It's absolutely key. It is to decide to start changing your life in the way the blessings have taught you. It is absolutely not enough to see that you could be this or this other way, that you could be loving more, that you could be more present, that you could be more grateful. It's not enough to see it after the analysis. You have to decide that this is your new you. You have to set yourself you have to create an agreement with yourself and say, this is my new me. I'm absolutely adamant to live my life in this brand new, different way. You have to decide and really create a new vow on how you are going to be living your life from now on. And this is the essence of bouncing back. Because it's not enough to fall down, but you have to decide to go up. Decide, and the decision is what will bring you up. However, of course, the decision is nothing. Good intentions are nothing. And that's the 4th step. The 4th step, of course, is action. And I like to call it the action that will be changing your brain, that will be changing your beliefs. You know, your brain is physically and anatomically built based on how your thoughts are. And your thoughts are based on how your actions are. When you start changing your actions, you start changing your thoughts, and your thoughts start changing your brain. And the more you act in a certain way, the more thoughts you are going to have in that certain way, and your brain will become that way. So, if after this devastating event, you see that you have to be more grateful, and then you start saying thank you more often. Thank you every day, send thank you notes, giving gratitude to everybody, getting testimonials from people, really showing gratitude, then you're really going to build a brand new identity for yourself with what you do, and you're going to we're going to build a brand new brain for yourself. So there you have it, the 4 steps to bounce back. Number 1, be with the situation, be with the devastation, honor the devastation. Number 2, find the gold, dig for the gold, find the blessings for you. Number 3, decide. So you got those blessings, what are you going to do with it? What is your decision? What are you committing to do? In which way are you going to be based on these blessings? And number 4, act. change your entire reality, change your brain, change your family, change your entire life with your actions. Go and act according to what you have learned. And you will see that every single time a new learning experience will appear, the whole process will be much easier, and you will bounce back not only faster, but you will find more gold in the so-called devastation.